First Weekend Club's ladies are in the house.
We should start with that.
Yeah.
And welcome everybody to the Canadian Film Forecast for the week of October 8th. As Anita mentioned, we are the First Weekend Club ladies with the lovely Anita Adams here, Catherine Brodsky, also out in Vancouver, and then myself, Priya Rao, your host, and Analea Boki right here in Toronto. So we have lots to get to today, as always, including all the newest releases that are coming to theater and or to VOD. We've got Anita's picks of 2 more classic Canadian films, and then we've got the Brodsky Report, which is keeping us up to date on things going around in the industry. So let's start off with our film correspondent, Analea Boki, to keep us informed.
Hey, Priya, I love your background, by the way.
Thank you.
So we've got 3 films opening in theaters October 9th. The film Splinters had opened in 4 cities this past weekend, and it will be opening in Hamilton and Charlottetown this weekend. It stars Sophia Buns-Huff from Closet Monster, and she's in the leading role. She stars a young woman whose sexual identity is fluid. And Shelley Thompson from Trailer Park Boys plays her traditional mom. So it's a very interesting story about returning home to your rural home and dealing with your mom, who might be very conservative, and she came out as a teen, but now she's actually trying to hide her relationship that she's been having with a man for the past 2 years. So it's very interesting.
Dun, dun, dun.
It does sound really interesting. I haven't seen it yet. I look forward to checking that one out.
Yeah, I like that little flip on the story.
Yeah.
Totally. So we also have To Hell with Harvey. It's about a recent high school grad. He's an aspiring writer, but he's struggling to find his voice in the writing community, and he's getting rejected from several writing programs that he was signing up for. And he ends up becoming the assistant to a reclusive and washed up author. And they are going on a comeback winter tour. So turns into like a road trip across rural Ontario. So that's a fun one.
Nice.
And with Halloween coming, there's a chilling coming of age story about a mother and a daughter who are suspected of witchcraft by their devout rural community. And so you'll be delighted by The Curse of Emily Earnshaw, which is opening at select cinemas across the country. Finally, all 5 Canadian films on our website at firstweekendclub.ca. Queen of the Morning Calm, A Fire in the Cold Season, Rustic Oracle, Brotherhood, and last but not least, I Propose We'll Never See Each Other Again After Tonight. All have been extended in the theaters.
Yay!
So, yes.
Great. 2 of those movies that we have had some extra involvement with. Queen of the Morning Calm, I got to host my first Q&A at the theater after almost 7 months. Wow. And just loved that film. And then Rustic Oracle, also we hosted a Q&A, a virtual Q&A with the writer, director, and one of the leads. Both just really powerful women, led and directed and starring women. So I'm really happy that those have been extended, as with all the other films that you mentioned. So great to hear that Canadian films are finally getting their box office screen time.
Yes.
Yep.
I wonder if it makes a difference that, because everyone has to sit, like, you can't fill the theater to capacity the way, so, for Canadian films, it's hard to compete with a tentpole American Hollywood kind of film. But now that they're not even able to fill the theater fully, maybe Canadian films are actually performing, really on par with some of these Hollywood films. And so they're getting more screen time.
Well, there's more space in the theater space right now for Canadian films, because there's not a lot of Hollywood films that are currently being released. So
that
we're getting more screen time, which is great. And we'll take full advantage of it, right? Because we want people to see our movies. So,
and we want to support all of the artists who make films by going to see their films. And in that little way, we can help, keep the industry alive, because everybody, I mean, everyone's dealing with, job losses and stuff, but yeah, it's just another way to try and support.
Yes, buy local, support local.
Exactly.
And that includes your filmmakers.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Analea. And now we will head over to Anita for her picks on some classic films you might want to watch from the comfort of your own home.
Well, they're not both classic films. One is a new release, Priya,
Ooh, okay.
and you might really enjoy this one. It's a documentary. It's called Assholes, a Theory.
I don't know why you're picking on me to have enjoyed that one, but I'm going to take it as a compliment.
Don't
think
take
it
it
is.
personally, but you might go to it and go, aha, okay, yeah, I know some people like this.
It's the story of my life.
A few people.
I think
One
it's
of
very
them is right here.
It is inspired by Aaron James' New York Times bestseller of the same name. Assholes, a Theory investigates the breeding grounds of contemporary asshole culture. Who hasn't experienced asshole culture, right? And it locates signs of civility in an otherwise rude and nasty universe. Now, I don't necessarily think our universe is rude and nasty, but there are certainly elements of it. Mm-hmm. And I think you might be intrigued by this story, especially with the resurgence of the authoritarianism that we're seeing around the world right now. I should maybe not say too much.
I actually got
my feelings, and we'll stay away from the political discussion.
I actually got to speak with John Walker. We have a video on our YouTube channel of my interview with him about that film, and he actually divulges about what inspired him to make the film.
And as Analea pointed out, this film is directed by the acclaimed director John Walker. So yeah, check out that interview as well. It's an interesting look at society, with narcissism threatening to trash civilization as we know it. Maybe that's a little bit strong, but it does pique and tickle your senses. So, check it out. It's on CBC Gem. The other title I have for you, completely the other side of the spectrum. This is a classic, and it's one of my favorite Canadian films. One of my favorite films, period. The Red Violin. And The Red Violin is a 1998 dramatic feature film directed by François Girard, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Don McKellar. The film stars Samuel L. Jackson, Carlo Secchi, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name properly, if anybody knows, Carlo Secchi, and Sylvia Chang. The Red Violin is an intricately woven story that spans 4 centuries and 5 countries, as it tells the story of a mysterious red-colored violin and its many owners. It's a fabulous, fabulous film. And of course, you can watch it on CBC Gem. Now, I always go back to CBC Gem because they have such a great collection of Canadian films. And it's the one place you can go to and just see a ton of great movies. So check both those titles out, discover some other great films. No, they're not a sponsor. That's not why I keep going there. They do simply have a lot of great Canadian titles on their platform. So do check them out. Let me know what you think about the 2 titles I recommend. Complete opposites, but really interesting.
I don't know what's wrong with narcissism.
Right? Well, I can't believe it's been 22 years since The Red Violin came out, because I do remember watching it when it first came out, and wow, time is crazy.
Yeah,
I think that is a beautiful film to see on the big screen for sure, because it's cinematically stunning. I think you'll enjoy it on your home entertainment unit as well.
Thanks so much, Anita. And now, for a little change of direction, we'll head over to Catherine for the Brodsky Report. She's going to keep us posted on some festival news.
Sure. Well, there's a few things going on. First up is the Real World Film Festival. It is founded by Tonya Williams. It was started in the year 2000, so it's been going on for like 20 years. This is the 20-year anniversary. and it takes place October 14th to 19th. And the aim of the festival is to draw attention to racially diverse and Indigenous talent, both in front of and behind the screen. So for their 20th anniversary lineup, the festival is going to be showcasing 38 films by Canadian Black, Indigenous, Asian, South Asian, Middle Eastern, and Latinx directors. The lineup also includes hundreds of racially diverse Canadian producers, writers, actors, and crew members who are involved in the creation of these films. So be sure to check it out at realworld.ca and see which films are playing and see what you might want to take in. And if you are more on the market for making your own films, especially short films, Crazy Eights is back in town, and they're now on their 22nd year, which is crazy. They've been around for so long, and the competition is looking for short filmmakers to, basically create a film. I think it's like in 48 hours or something like that. So it's pretty incredible. So they're looking for fresh new stories told by filmmakers who have these diverse points of view. And the competition is basically inviting filmmakers, finalists, to make short films following COVID safety protocols, of course. And then they end up showcasing them to the BC film industry. And they usually have a gala at the end. I don't know if that's going to be taking place this year, but I'm sure they'll find some innovative way and safe way to display these films. And they also get distributed. And it's like, I think short films, it's so hard to get attention. It's one of those things that's like, if it's in a festival, usually it's super hard to get people to see them. But with what Crazy Eights kind of accomplished, that's pretty amazing to me, is that like the galas are always the place to be. It's always sold out. And then these short films get so much attention. I love that.
And the quality of the films are fantastic. So I've been involved, or was involved with the festival when it first started, like in 1998. And it has been incredible to watch how it's grown and how the quality of the films and how it's nurtured so much incredible talent. So really great films that come out of that.
Talk about diverse storytelling. I recall one year they had a short film about a musical about bed bugs. So
yes.
Just pictures of just like, I think it was from the point of view of the bed bugs. So it
was, and that filmmaker has gone on to make a lot of really great films. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a great.
The short film is it's a calling card, right? And it's really hard to get made. And I think that's why the Crazy Eights competition was formed in the first place, because it allowed, they get all these vendors to donate their services and access to equipment and some cash. And so those filmmakers not only get to make those films, but also get to show them off.
Exactly.
And if you're looking to apply, you can apply until October 28th at crazy8s.film. And they also have a pitching workshop online on October 18th, so check that out. And back to you, Priya.
Awesome. I always wanted to be part of that Crazy Eights program because it just sounded so fun. Alas, I'm not in Vancouver, but they do produce amazing work. And you're right, Anita, a lot of very talented filmmakers have come out of that festival. And for the Real World Festival, I'm going to just plug our podcast here because we have a great episode with Tonya Williams where she talks all about her career as an actor turned founder of the Real World Festival and where it's come and some of the new and exciting initiatives that they have put into place to really keep elevating the position of all people in the Canadian film industry. So you'll have to check that out. Plus, we have a new episode that will drop this weekend featuring none other than the multi-talented Joel Thomas Hynes. He is in a new movie called Body and Bones, so we're very excited to be able to chat with him just before this movie comes out. It's a very, very vulnerable, interesting, open, honest conversation. And this is a guy who is multi-talented, like I said, but he has had professional highs and awards as a screenwriter, as an actor, as a novelist, and as a musician. So you'll want to check it out because it's a very fascinating chat. So you'll watch for that this weekend. And I think that's all we have for this week.
Wow.
Right, ladies?
A lot.
That's it. All right.
All right.
We shall call it, and we will see you next week, everyone.
See you
See you
next
next
week.
time.
Bye.
Bye.